And just finally, about housing. This is one huge issue in Australia that you can't solve on a TV show, and I doubt any government's going to be able to do it anytime soon. But here's the reality of Australia and Australian home ownership. About a third of the country owns their house already. A third of the country is trying to pay it off with a mortgage. This is according to the latest census and these Bureau statistics. And about a third of the country is renting. Well, we got a frightening number today out of the Resolve political organisation about people's ideas about whether they can actually ever afford to own a home. Now, 44% of people say no, 33% of people believe they will own a home at some time, and 19% aren't sure. But you would automatically think, well, Paul, that's because they've oversampled a bunch of kids who all want a $1.5 million house as their first place they're going to move into. Well, actually, no. Because the older you get, the least likely you are to believe that you're going to be able to own a home. Think about this. Every single federal or state election, it's all about first home buyers with a whole bunch of images of people in their 20s. Well, as you can see, the rate falls. Once you're 35 to 54, it's only 30% who say they'll buy one. And if you're over 55%, you still haven't bought a house. The assumption is that less than 10% of people think they'll ever be able to own one, which means renting is the only option for way too many people in the country for a whole bunch of reasons. But as we've told you, the availability of rental places is through the floor because NIMBYs lobby their councils, state governments are lobbied by the councils for no new development. But we learned today via the Bureau of Statistics that guess what? 94% of people who currently live in a rental place have experienced some sort of a rental rise in the past couple of years. Have a look at that. From the depths of the pandemic all the way to today, best part of almost 100% of people have got an increase in their rentals. When it actually have a look at terms of rental inflation, have a look at this number. Let's go back to June 2019, where the expectation was that your rate of rent would only go up by about 2%. Now, in regions, it's about 8%, and it's about 6.5% in the cities, which is why you see stories like $400 a week is what somebody is paying for a flat that smells like old milk. Somebody who lives in a tiny house parked in a friend's backyard because they can't afford the rent.